Hey guys, it's me, Dida Ritz. Welcome back to my show, Detailz with Dida Ritz. My show where I'm able to spill a little tea and throw a little shade, as they like to say, about my experience on the race. And I'm super excited to have my special guest this week here. She is the winner of Camp Wannakiki Season 1, Alexis Bevels.
Hi Dida. Thank you for having me.
And you're part of the IMHO family too, so this is like just sisters once again working together.
I know. Now, am I here as an intern or as a guest?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Okay.
We'll say intern because we can't guarantee the pay.
That checks out.
Not all interns get paid, so hey, there you go.
That checks out. Season 4 is low-key my favorite.
Oh, I like to hear that. That's
Season
what we
4
like to
is
hear.
my favorite. So
no, it's
every time I get to work with you, I kind of like freak out a little bit internally because you're on my favorite season and you're one of my favorite girls.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we work together a lot here in Chicago at a fabulous sidetracks. The thing I love about you, as we just are sitting here complimenting each other, I was so happy when I found out you were going to be here just because you are always in good spirits. I don't think I've ever seen you in a bad mood. You have such great energy. So I was just super happy for you to be here and talk and spill tea with you.
Yes, I want all the tea. I'm thirsty.
Now we're done complimenting each other and showing each other so much love. Set the scene. Picture it. The workroom. Season 4. We just eliminated our first girl, Alyssa Summers.
Oh.
The energy, I can tell you right now, was definitely weird. No one wants to be the first girl. You know, there's always that thing. You know this about being on Camp Wannakiki. I'm sure no one wants to be the first to go home for that. So I remember that was like, thank God.
Yeah, a little bit of a relief mixed with like, ooh, this is real now, huh?
Yeah, no, it was it definitely hit me like, okay, it's real. Like, well, one by one, be like, you know, the group is going to be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I was very sad about that. At least we got to say bye, though. You know, the girls, like I said last week's episode, you know, they don't really get to say bye, you know, nowadays
anymore.
with filming. They just like, you know, they send the girl home and the girls don't see each other until like reunions or after the show is done filming. So I felt happy at least to be able to say bye to Alyssa and be like, you know, hey girl, I'll see you on the flip side, you know? So it was a good time. So.
Okay, so what's the mini challenge?
The challenge was the badonkadonk challenge, the mini challenge. We basically had to make the perfect badonkadonk.
In 30 minutes?
In 30 minutes. And it was literally 30 minutes. Like, they literally would time those moments. Like, anytime you screamed out time check, it would literally be like, time check, 12:41, you know, 1 o'clock, whatever. Yeah, it was intense, girl. Like, when they say that is like the pressure's on. The pressure is on.
Oh my gosh.
They provided us with all of the stuff, so like that was at least good, and like all of us different scissors and stuff you could do. But it was nerve-wracking. I mean, I will say that once, you know, we were done, I felt like my ass was
me and Dixie Lynn Cartwright, star of IMHO, she and I both noticed that yours was the most realistic out of everyone's. Were you going for realism?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, you know, they were asking for realistic. I was like, okay, girl, I giving realistic. And I thought it was interesting that, like, you know, I think this was also brought up off the white girls one.
Yeah. All the girls that did the best don't typically wear butt pads, or if they didn't at the time.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you clock it, they spelled my name wrong, too, when they were showing it. So I just felt sabotage all up in the room.
Logo.
D-I-D-A, not D-I-T-A, because D sounds like D, not T.
Dida with a D, not Dida with a T, because Dida with a T goes not duh.
My good Judy. So then after that, I believe that was when we did our first team challenge.
Yeah, I have it right here. So the winners were Fifi O'Hara.
Yes. And Willem, right?
Willem and Chad Michaels.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
And so this is your first team challenge. So this is the first time that picking teams comes into play.
Yes, that's our whole strategy, and I was nervous about that. Let me tell you how I was very, very nervous about that. I was very thankful I wasn't picked last, but I was very nervous about that because I was like, if I'm picked last, that lets me know already, like the tone is set. And, you know, it's no secret that, you know, there's favoritism, there's all types of things wrapped up in Drag Race.
It's a competition.
So I was just like, okay, if I'm picked last, and I already know how these girls see me. So the fact that I was like one of the first girls picked. Willem picked me for her.
Willem picked you first. Now,
yes.
I had a question. Did you already have, like, a friendship?
It wasn't until, like, it wasn't until getting to know her during the competition that I really did like get to know her. But I really felt like in that moment, Willem might have picked me because her and Fifi it was already something brewing between them. So I have this, and I always felt like that vibe. Like, and I even think at one point Willem actually had even said that to me. Like, I picked you, Doug, because you're friends with Fifi, and you know Fifi, and da da da. And also, like at that point, I was like, okay, well, like I see how. Yes, strategy. Told you that Willem is a smart one, ladies and gentlemen. She's real smart.
She is very smart. She's a business lady.
I was happy to be on her team though, because I knew that she worked in Hollywood. I knew she was here to not play any games. So I was like, at least I'm on a team with somebody who's gonna take this seriously, you know.
Madame Laqueer is picked last. And a little bit later on, she starts complaining about her ankle.
Yes.
But it was only the second episode. Was her ankle a problem? Or
The ankle was a problem. It was a problem. I believe at one point, even she had hurt herself on set and it had like during the first episode I believe, and it had made it like the ankle worse. But the ankle and all, I remember the topic of her ankle being a thing and people being worried about if she gets in a group and picking her, because if you have to learn choreography or whatever in a group, you just don't know what's going to happen, so you don't want to put that person on your team if they have a bad ankle, because then you're like, girl, we gotta, you know.
Yeah.
It was a fear because we would see her limping sometimes. It was very bad. So
oof.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's always a physical challenge early on in every season.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, obviously the big Eureka O'Hara, she busted her knee.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was funny on this episode we're talking about, they say it was wrestling and they say drag is not a contact sport, but we was wrestling.
So you pick teams and then you have to pick like personas and you have to decide who's the heel and who's the lashes. What is it?
I believe it was the heels and it was
and the faces.
And the faces, yes.
Yes. How did your team come up with like who was the heel and who was the face? Well, obviously, yeah. I assume Willem is gonna say she's the face, and Dida, you are the face.
Yes. I mean, it was no question about who was technically like in our group, the good or bad guys. We really tried to like play up, like Willem and I kind of knew already we were going to be like the faces and be the pretty girls and the good girls that everyone liked. So we played that up immediately. Like we knew what we were going to do. Me and Willem were very ebony and ivory. Our drag was very similar. Our group was lucky because we already knew kind of how to like fall right into like place and okay, you're going to do this and you're going to do this and you're going to do this. Our team didn't struggle in this one, I feel like. I feel like we were at least like we all knew our place.
Copacetic, like in sync.
Yeah, like I didn't really,
Yeah. Now, okay, this is the question I was getting to. So you meet these dudes and they teach you the wrestling moves.
Yes.
Do they teach you how to do them safely or do they just show you what to do and say good luck?
Oh no, they teach you how to do it safely. We had like a whole situation where we like got to go into the ring and work with them, and I believe even some of them like were professional wrestlers, like, you know, like possibly on, you know, some Monday Night Raw, WWE type of stuff, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of Raw, now they were attractive.
Oh, they were very attractive.
Did anyone try to sleep with them? Or was anyone successful?
I don't think anyone was successful that I know of. I most definitely know that like hormones were going. I mean,
flirting.
You know, anytime, let me tell you something. There were moments even where I remember we were like all even catcalling the cameraman because there would be fine cameramen that we would see. Or we'd be all in the van waiting to go in. And then literally we would see like, there was this really fine cameraman. I remember he was like tatted up and like he was like tall, you know. He was very sweet too. I mean, he was everybody's type, honey. We would be trying to use Kenya as a thing. Kenya, go out there and go get him, girl. I mean, it was, we're locked up. So it was like very, anytime we saw like a man, we'd go crazy. Actually, at the hotel, you want to get some real tea. And the hotel we stayed in, we had like one section of the whole hotel, but then there's like the elevator and there's a whole nother section of the hotel. Okay. And I remember there was this guy that was going out to get ice or something, but he walked out of his room shirtless, and me and Willem and like I think Jiggly all looked at each other and we were like, girl, was that man shirtless? And Willem, I remember like literally described the man within like seconds, like she probably knew if he had a black card or not. Like he could have been ugly as hell, but we were just like. She could
describe him to a sketch artist.
They had us locked up like we was in jail, so we was all just some horny ass queens.
Oh, I love that. Anyway, not about. Okay, so, those hot dudes.
Yes.
They teach you how to wrestle.
We had fun. We really took in the wrestling moves. I remember the wrestlers taught us how to like fall, like fake fall or run into each other and make it look realistic.
Your team worked well together. What teams didn't work well? Obviously, Madame Laqueer.
I didn't hear any drama going down with them in any groups actually at that time. When I really think about it now, this episode was actually like, stuff was brewing. But I think that everyone was
the surface.
Yeah, but I think that everybody was still getting to know each other.
That's what I was gonna say, because
that was also like this was.
It's the second episode, and you're probably still in your first week of.
We're still
together, right?
We just had filmed the first episode. Everything's like very fresh, They're still like trying to figure this out. Like, okay, and we are sisters in this. This is, like I said, still becoming a new thing. Everyone was still trying to get a feel for everyone's workmanship and work ethic and how they work in groups. And
also, I imagine, like, getting your bearings as far as, like, being on a TV set.
Absolutely.
It's probably not anything you had been used to previously, right?
Yeah, no, I hadn't been. I mean, I can tell you I got used to the cameras pretty easy, though, because, or drag music.
You adapt.
It's very easy.
You adapt.
I was still aware of what was going on. So there were definitely like times when things would happen, scratch your ass and scratch your nuts. You couldn't do that in front of the camera.
Oh.
Or, just those little quick things. I always say, like, when I tucked, I always tried to be very, like, wait till the cameras were all over there, and then I would tuck really quickly because I didn't want to tuck on camera.
Whoa, because you get dressed in there and the cameras don't
you get
really
dressed
go.
And the cameras are right there. You can't.
Yeah, because some girls are like, the famous Alaska like helicoptering.
Oh yeah. And there's screens, like there's shade screens, like fold out little shade screens around.
So you can have a little privacy.
So you can have a little bit of privacy, but
But they want you to.
It is. There's nothing to say of a queen just walking over there and knocking that over. Queens they'd be messy. Go over and knock it over. You standing there like. Episode 2 was me still trying to learn how things work and and learn that like anything could happen,
Ooh.
Anything could happen. That is like the biggest fear is when you literally put your time and your life and everything in the hands of other people and then like anything could happen. They could just do anything because you signed a paper that said so.
Crazy.
So yeah.
Okay, so you've survived the wrestling challenge unscathed.
Mm-hmm.
You lived your diva WWE fantasy, We fantasy.
Yes.
The We fantasy, and now you're all getting ready for the runway.
Girly girl on the runway, I believe it was.
Girly girl on the runway.
Very
now
girly.
we're gonna get there, but you're getting ready. You're painting.
Yes.
How's that going? Is anything happening?
But once again, it is very much the calm before the storm because it's still like us trying to get to know each other. I just remember thinking the excitement, when we would get ready, sometimes we would hear the music, the runway music Rue would use to the beginning of the runway, when Rue comes out.
When she comes out.
So we would hear the music going, and so we kind of knew, I remember specifically during that episode filming, I remember hearing the music and Chad going, oh, Mama Rue's just hit the runway. So we knew we had like, maybe like roughly an hour and a half, 2 hours to still get ready, because, when Rue's ready, then we all can do our thing. That's the rule, she has to,
Is there any kind of structure where like they say, okay, you can't do anything, like you can't do anything until we're filming you, like while the cameras are down, you can't do anything, you can't paint?
A lot of like, you could paint, there's no talking. Sometimes they would have this thing called ice. Like a reality TV show uses this thing called ice, like put the people on ice. So basically you can't speak. When cameras were down, they would just say on ice or whatever, But they, of course, you can't tell a drag queen to not talk.
I don't think you can tell anyone to not talk.
Especially grown-ass people, I think there's something about just to be saying when you've grown as hell and you having to deal with other grown folks telling you to not talk. You like, I am grown as hell. I am 30-some years old. I am grown as hell. Don't be telling me not to talk. I am not 21. I am grown.
So while the cameras were down, was there anything? You said you weren't supposed to talk. Did anything happen? Like,
there was an incident. I remember when the cameras were down, definitely for this episode. We were just getting there, and the production people were just now getting to like know us. You would think though. You've picked, 13, 14 girls, whatever, to be on the show. You would have, like, those names at least, like, all memorized. And so there would be definitely times when I was on the runway and they would say, Sharon, a smidge to the left, Fifi, a smidge to the right, Dida, a smidge to the right. And I would go,
Dida.
Like, I would be very,
Not Dida!
I'd be very black woman about it. Like, my name is Dida. I was very much loved by production for that. Guy Calvin to correct them because they so love that. But there was a moment I remember when we were in the workroom and the cameras were down and like Chad Michaels just had snapped. Like basically snapped and was like, why can't people remember our names? And I just, because it was other things that were like going down, we were running out of hairspray. There was things that we really kind of needed. Production really wasn't really caring kind of about that. They were thinking like it's not that big of a deal. Chad was kind of like, venting that to them for us as a, you know, as like a leader. Chad had looked at one of the chicks there and was basically like, oh yeah, and I need you all to start pronouncing us all by our right name. What's her name? And looked at one of the producers, I remember, and before, I think it was like Jiggly or LaShawn or somebody, and before even like they could say anything, I remember Chad went, don't say nothing. What's her name? Like very that. And I was like, oh.
Oh, Mama Chad. That's not like a diva moment. That's like a, hey, we're humans. We're not just your, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, no, it was, I mean, I loved it. I was very happy because I did feel, I had never done television production. And at that point, my only person to really, like, I felt kind of like I could maybe, like, get some advice from was Willa. Because, you know, at that point, I had already did a challenge with her. And I was like, okay, she's done television before, so I could always ask her, like, you know,
see, that's very
stuff.
smart.
You know, at this point, I started saying cheesecake a lot during the scene. That's when, or this episode, you know, that's where cheesecake came from. And her and Chad were both like, say it, it'll run with
branding.
you. So, yeah, no, it was, I knew Chad was only reacting because he was like, you know, he knew how to, he was a businessman. You know, like Chad is business.
And you knew how to comport him herself.
And so she knew. She was only fighting for what we really earned, what we deserve. All right, so now we're going to get into the runway.
Girly girl on the runway. Yeah.
I love this because this is like me. I'm such a girly girl. Like, that's my drag. I love bright colors. I love flashy, fun stuff. I'm very sparkly.
Same.
So, like, I mean, I see we're both like a fun ball of tulle.
For me, I thought floofy pinks, purples, like cupcake dress. This is actually, funnily enough, this is what I wore on episode 2 of my season of Camp Wannakiki.
Oh, yes. I thought this looked familiar.
And I just love it, and it's girly girl. It's like my favorite thing. I feel like a girly princess.
I actually still have the dress I wore from at this episode. I
Yes.
don't pull it out. It was made by my friend Birdie. You know Birdie here in Chicago.
Oh my God, the
Fabulous
legendary Birdie.
Yes, she actually made that dress for me for my birthday, like maybe a year prior to. And I just felt like since I was going on the show, I was so thankful for her doing that. I was like, I just want to put my friend's artwork on, you know, on TV. So
well,
I felt
we're gonna get to it.
very happy. So that's where the inspiration kind of for
yes, this is so
came
cute.
from. This was designed by Joe
the colors.
Lewis. So yes. So.
Joe Lewis.
Joe
Credit.
Credit to Joe
Shout out
Lewis.
to Joe.
All right, so let's get into the runway look. So first up, we have
Mama RuPaul.
Mama RuPaul.
And I think personally one of my favorite looks I've ever seen her in.
There was a moment where we were sitting there because I was in front of her on that runway. Because like I was safe the first episode and I was way on the other end of the runway, so I didn't even get to get a close up of her. You know, like I was sitting on the other end, so I didn't really get to see her. But when you're in front of her on that runway, you are in front of Ru. So you're just like, oh my God. And then you just see this kind of transformation she breaks into of like, so girls, welcome back, girls. And she literally was moving like this, like a robot. It was the most fiercest thing I'd ever seen, but like scary and terrifying.
Oh my God! How many arm length? How many arm lengths away was she?
Like whenever you see on TV when the girls get off the stage and you see how kind of close it looks, like have you ever seen it? It's kind of that close. I mean, it's right there. I'm always shocked when girls get off the runway because I remember she told us like before the lip sync starts, like no one is to get off the stage.
Yeah, so, that's a huge like rumor.
Yeah, no, she tells the girls not to do it. So when the girls do it, I always find those are the girls who either get reprimanded or get eliminated. So I think that's funny.
Well, don't do it.
Don't do it. She say stay on the runway, stay on the stage. That's where the lights are at on the stage.
Where the lights are at. That is the most important part.
Stay where the light is. Find the light, Claraland. Claraland. It's Carolan, right? But I say Claraland.
I like Claraland better.
Claraland. Dida Ritz is my name. Next up, we have Kenya Michaels.
Kenya Minaj Michaels. And
Kenya,
an iconic,
Definitely.
one of her best looks.
Definitely. Very Barbie doll, Puerto Rican Barbie doll. Nicki Minaj. At the time, Nicki Minaj was very much about those bobs.
And the movement. I get so mad when I see petite girls like Kenya because
Kenya is like...
she's so gorgeous.
She's even more like... I saw what she looks like now and I'm like... That's a woman, honey. That is a woman. Kenya is a woman. We don't even gotta talk about that. That was perfect. Next up, we have LaShawn Beyond.
Okay.
It was so cute. I loved it.
Now I love it too. I remember liking it back then, but now looking at it now, just like the tulle and the rhinestone and then the cute little balls everywhere. I feel like this is. Christian Siriano is doing dresses like this.
Oh, yeah, no.
I feel like because tulle is very in right now, and I feel like this is a way ahead of its time. I do wonder if Was the thing supposed to be on her head, but she's just holding it, the gumball machine?
I don't know. No. I think that like when I like remember being there, I think she had it very much like it was supposed to be held. At no point did I ever see.
It
her
is
try
like
to
a
put that
cute
on her
bouquet.
head. I just love that because I mean, you know, I'm very much a queen of tulle. I love tulle. I loved that when I saw that. I thought I'd wear that, and I would wear that to this day. I mean, I loved her hair.
It's beautiful.
You know, and she
looks
has such a gorgeous
stunning.
face. Yeah, no, she's so beautiful. I loved it.
They came a little bit for her makeup, and I kind of see.
See, I don't see. Okay,
And
so
it
here's
was-
my
it
whole
was-
thing about the makeup thing.
It was a while ago. Makeup is very different now.
It is very different, but I also took her when I looked at LaShawn. LaShawn gave me very much like a girl who just wore a lot of makeup. I didn't look at her makeup that day and thought it was horrible. Actually, that was my favorite thing she did. That was
Yeah.
gorgeous. I thought that was fun and flirty and sexy. So,
I love it.
all right, next up we have Sharon Needles.
Needles. This is very cute.
I remember thinking that was extremely pretty for her, and I was very impressed by her makeup skills because, you know, she's a dark girl. She's a witch. So I thought, you know, all she maybe knew how to do was paint dark. So I was really impressed by, like, the fact that she knew how to paint really pretty. Like, I thought she looked really pretty.
It is such a departure for her personal style, but we hadn't really seen her personal style a lot yet, so we didn't know it at the time.
No,
But
yeah.
looking back at it, it's like you don't really see Sharon Needles in a cute, girly thing like this,
that is the
which
lightest.
makes it really cool.
Yeah, like, that's the lightest I feel like you will ever see her.
Yeah.
It's the most bubbliest I think anybody has ever seen her, so.
Yeah.
Cheers to Sharon.
Oh, can we cheers to Sharon Needles? I love her.
Cheers to Sharon Needles.
Speaking of bubbly,
Oh, bubbly! And always had a sucker in her mouth, because that's just what she did.
she
Jiggly
she always did.
Caliente! I loved this. This was good. I liked the dress with the corset. I remember it kept giving me Barbie vibes. I do wish that maybe she had, like, I don't know, fuller hair or longer hair. I thought the hair was kind of, like, light at the time. I was like, oh, she could have some, like, more, like, longer, fullier
If she
hair.
had LaShawn's hair with the beautiful, like,
Yeah,
extra,
I remember thinking, like,
extra,
more,
very
like,
Casey
more
Musgraves.
volume. I was like, you know. But,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Jiggly's got such a gorgeous face, and I loved, and she does have, Jiggly's got looks. Don't play with you, honey.
No.
Jiggly's got fierce drag and fierce fashions, honey. So the clothes, I liked that.
Well, look at her now. I remember on her season, her downfall, which I'm sure you'll get to later, is her not being able to not knowing how to sew. And I
yes.
remember after her season following her, and she said, yeah, I'm gonna take a sewing class, and look at her now. She is stunning and creative, and she's doing really great things.
Shout out to Jiggly Caliente on
Muy
Pose,
Caliente.
honey. Getting them coins. All right, next up we have not London, not Paris, Milan. I liked it. Some people did not like this. I remember they thought it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think they got
Because it is like, I remember
feeling,
people thinking it was kind of lackluster, like it could have been more. But even at that time, that was fun to have on something like that.
I love the spirit of this. Like, I love the hair and I love the flowiness of it. Maybe the fact that it's sheer and you can kind of see the undergarments. Maybe that's kind of what is off about it. But she looks darling, and the way she presents it on the runway is really girly girl to me.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
super sweet and fun.
And
the way
she
she's
modeled
like
it very
flirting.
cute too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought it. And I think Milan is just gorgeous in drag. So
She is really
she has a great
pretty.
spirit. You can see that when
Yeah.
you know. So I was thoroughly impressed by that. All right, next up we have Madame Laqueer.
The Grand Madame Laqueer.
I didn't like this one.
You didn't like
I
it.
liked the shape, and I liked, once again, it was kind of like last week's runway. This is when I started noticing about Madame. She has like silhouettes. That's when I noticed like she has silhouettes that worked for her. So I liked the shape of what she wore. And I liked that her thighs was out, her legs was out, like juicy, looking sexy. I love all that.
Yeah,
but like I didn't like the hair. I remember, I
It's
thought it
covering
was
half her face.
Yeah, I
In
didn't
this
think
photo,
there was
it's completely covering her face.
Yeah, it was the same as last week's runway, but I enjoyed, like I said, I like from the legs down. I was living. I live for thick thighs, honey. All right, so next up we have me.
Yes, Dida Ritz from the House of Ritz.
Yes.
Looking so cute. Now talk to me about your inspiration, because the theme was girly girl.
Yes.
And I can kind of, I see it as like little girl, girly girl. Like I would see a cute little like, what's her name? What's her name in the New York? That little girl who lives in the New York hotel. Dixie. What's that book? The book about the Eloise. Eloise, I figured it out. Eloise.
My reference for that was, once again, definitely because I had the dress from my friend Birdie, so I thought
Birdie Couture.
Yeah, Birdie Couture. Birdie Johnson, as we like to call her. I had already had the dress, and I thought, like, it would go perfect with this. I also remember thinking, it's girly girl to me. It gives me my Carrie Bradshaw vibes.
Yes.
You know, it gives me my weird, awkward fashion. It's something that's very different than all the other girls.
And accentuating your legs, which are outstanding.
Yes, accentuating my legs. And I remember I love those shoes I actually have, and I still have those shoes. I don't wear them that often anymore. But I remember I kept thinking that the strap, they were new shoes. I had just got them, and the strap kept like, it hadn't like been really broken in, so it kept coming loose. Like it kept. So I was terrified if I had to lip sync. I was like, my shoe's gonna come off. Like I already knew that was gonna happen to me. I was like, my shoe's gonna come off if I have to lip sync. So just already prepare yourself for that. Like, oh my God. I remember them having a problem with the fit. They didn't like the fit of it.
I get what the fit was.
They thought it was like potato sacky,
like
but I also like the potato sacky.
Like a
vibe.
drop waist, you can do that.
Yeah.
I get what
I'm tall, I'm lengthy. You can wear those type of things. It is a Chanel bottle. I remember Rue actually whispering to me, like looking at me on panel and being like, is that a Chanel bottle? And I'm like, yes.
Oh.
So she was like, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what, I was trying to get very heavy Chanel vibes. Hello, Parisian fashion. So looking back on it now, I probably would have done different hair.
I love the makeup.
I love my makeup. I think my makeup is so
it's
killer.
really colorful.
My skin looks great. I love
Yeah.
the big bow. Yeah, I mean, there's like a few like things I would definitely like probably fix in it, but I was very pleased with what I presented. So.
Yeah, and I love the update.
Thank you, like that. Just shout out to Joe, more Tool.
And this
more
bow,
ridiculous.
is.
It's like the drama. It's like the drama reader.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever see a girl across the room reading another bitch, and it's like going in, you're like, ooh, that's the drama meter. That ribbon. Love it. I'm just so goofy sometimes. Next up, we have Mother Chaz Michaels.
Mother. Looking so cute.
Looking gorgeous. And giving me such like, this is not a clownery, but this is like a true like test to who Chad Michaels is as an entertainer. Like Chad has been in the game for like light years, but yet was still able to produce such a youthful look. Like, I thought her look was so youthful still.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah, I was just like, man, that's what, like, when I get to that, like, when I get, I'm 33 now, but when I get into, like, my 40s and 50s of doing drag, I want to be able to just be that, like, once again, just damn, that fucking polished and on point Chad Michaels. I love that look. The pink dress, I like the hair. I like the boots. It was very my Super Sweet 16 vibes from MTV.
Oh my God, that show.
I remember that show. It was very like, I want a car, I want a red BMW, and I want it now.
Oh my gosh. And I want
bad.
Ashton Kutcher to DJ my birthday party.
I want it daddy and I want it now.
Oh, it's really cute.
There's nothing we can say bad about Chad Michaels, so we're just going to go to the next person. Next, we have the Princess.
The Princess. Giving us punk rock girly girl.
Giving us punk rock girly girl. And all I thought about when I saw this look, because I love, once again, the look gave me like very Marc Jacobs-y, Louis Vuitton vibes at the time.
Okay.
But also, I would say that the one thing I thought about when I look at her look is turn the wigs around. Turn the wigs around! I don't know if her wig was turned around, but her wig was giving, I love her wig, but it was giving me very much like she turned it around and just let it just hang. Like, we all do that. I've worn a wig turned around before because it looks that fierce.
I really loved this. And I thought the wig was like, it almost reminded me of one of those paintings at the salon. You know those pictures at the salon? The
yeah.
Is that what the illustrations, like the kind of 80s, like that's what it was giving me.
So next up we have Fifi O'Hara.
Fifi.
What did you think of Fifi's look?
Miami Housewives. It didn't. Oh, I actually really love the shoes.
The shoes were everything.
I actually really love the shoes.
The shoes were everything. I have to,
This doesn't scream girly girl to me. This screams more resort to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think she looks bad. But I don't think she looks bad. They kind of read her. What do you think?
I did love the shoes. I
I wish I could wear a shoe like that.
I did love the shoes. I didn't like the hair because I felt like the hair aged her. Personally,
and that's the same critique.
I thought the hair kind of was aging, and then I think even at one point they had said something about her makeup to her. Then I know that behind the scenes Kenya was kind of giving her like advice about makeup and stuff like that. So she was working on that. Like, yeah. In my personal opinion, I always thought there was just like a bit of a little obsession that Fifi had with Kenya, because Kenya was really great with drag, and so I could see that. But then there was also like, it was something going on. I never saw anything with my own eyes, because if I did, I would say something right now.
Okay, so we won't allege anything.
We won't allege anything. Next up, we have Latrice motherfucking Royale.
Latrice.
So, another disclaimer, because I feel like we have to make these little disclaimers. I had to make this disclaimer last week for Latrice.
It's your show. You can do whatever you want.
Because because like,
you don't have to be angry about it.
I got really mad about that. A little quick disclaimer before we even like critique Latrice, because I feel like Latrice would never wear anything like this ever. Like, she wore the pink, she wore the pink.
Well,
her look is so just grand and different. It's like even having to.
Well, it's evolutionized now.
It's so it's.
But any of the dolls that go on shows like this, there's an evolution afterwards.
Yeah. Did you say the dolls?
Yeah.
I love that.
I
love that. The dolls.
The dolls.
I love that. I love when people use that term. I loved it. I thought it was very like, once again, like I said this last week about Willow's look, it's very like arrive to the bar, drop your bag off, and go out and get a cocktail.
Oh yeah.
It's very.
Well, we do that all the time.
Yeah. Show up. Drop your stuff off, go out and go get a cocktail and go mingle until it's showtime. That's what it was giving me. So next up we have
Willem, a personal favorite of mine, and I know that she's a friend of yours.
Yes, one of my good Judies. Yes, I'm very close with Willem. I love her.
Yes, this was
JonBenet Ramsey.
Yeah.
She gave me baby JonBenet, or actually grown-up JonBenet.
Grown-up JonBenet.
I don't know. I loved it.
So cute.
And the denim jacket had all those stuff on it. Like, I remember her telling me it was like broken jewelry that she had found. Every drag queen has that drawer of like broken jewelry.
Oh yeah.
I think she had said that her tuck was going to be extremely tight for the judges, because we had those two like male judges.
We haven't even. I can't believe we haven't talked about those judges.
Rick Fox.
I would have melted into
Let me tell you,
puddle.
I was sitting there looking at Rick Fox.
John Sally and Rick Fox.
John Sally's cute, but he ain't as fine as Rick. Like, there's something about Rick Fox.
Nobody next to Rick Fox is gonna be.
John Sally. You know what I would give with John Sally? Because I love tall men. So like.
Oh, we have that in common.
Okay.
Must be this tall to right.
Yes. John Sally, can get it all day because he's just tall as hell. But Rick Fox, that's the cover of a romantic novel right there. Well, I did think it was interesting. I will say this. I did think it was interesting, and that is probably the most, still to this date, in my opinion, the most hyper masculine judges that they've ever had. I commend them both for coming on.
Oh yeah,
I really
sure.
do.
Props.
Like I was very
impressed. They were definitely like out of their element.
Yeah, they weren't. That's probably why this episode was so like, to me, so like whatever, because they weren't shady. Well, they weren't like, they didn't have like that shade that like maybe they are fans of the show and they just don't want to be that most bright about it. But you can tell the celebrities who love the show and they bring the fierceness with them. They wear their garments. They
come to the event.
They come to the event. So I commend them for being there.
That's what I remember when I was rewatching it yesterday. I was like, all these critiques when you're on the runway, you hear the voiceovers of the judges. It's like it's all Rupaul and Michelle. It's not any of the other ones. Speaking of, the critiques are next.
Yes, the critiques.
So Team Chad is declared the winner.
Yes.
With Chad Michaels and Madame Laqueer, a shocking win, which is kind of sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you feel with that when they announced her?
Of course I wasn't happy. I wanted to win. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I remember thinking, I was like, I want to win.
Because y'all did a good job.
We did a great job, and I think we worked really well together. And I wanted to win. I wasn't happy about not winning.
No, because it was revealed that actually you, Willem the Princess, and LaShawn were the bottom four.
Yes.
Billy B was. And I know that you're close with him now, but he was mean to y'all.
Oh my God, no. Billy B was, girl.
I was watching it back, I was like, this isn't even like Simon Cowell shade. It's like, just mean.
So here's the deal.
Your feelings are, I would have been so mad.
I was mad. I was very annoyed by Billy B when I like being a part of this, like being there filming. I was very annoyed because I just knew every time he was like an every other week judge. So I was always I was very scared, to be around him because he's very honest. He works in Hollywood. He does Beyonce's makeup. He does Mary J. Blige's makeup. He's done the great. The way I looked at it was like, okay, you're in the room with the people that I admire. So I'm not gonna like come for you back. I'm also learning in this situation, like this is how like show business is. People are very honest. They are very like extremely like what might come off as rude. They're just being honest and want you to be the best. They're only telling you what you are gonna probably see on a blog or a comment. It wasn't until after the show where me and him had worked together on like a video kind of like makeup tutorial thing we had did.
Yeah, I remember watching it.
Becoming Dida Ritz. Make sure you guys check that out on YouTube.
Check it out.
But it was fun because as he sat there and did my makeup, I felt it was the time where me and him were able to. The show was done being filmed. I think that it was still airing, but I believe we were like getting almost kind of finished with our season. And I remember he had said, you know, I was only hard on you because I believe in you.
So it ends up being, they say you're safe.
Yes.
And it ends up being,
right before RuPaul had even told me I was safe, I was like doing this on the runway.
What were you doing?
I was about to faint. Like, I literally had saw stars. I had realized, oh my God, like I might have to lip sync. I'm here in the bottom. Like, oh my goodness. And so, yeah, I thought I was gonna have to lip sync. And I remember Willem said she could even see it too. I was like wobbling. Like I was about to faint.
You were nervous.
I was so nervous, and I had never even felt that type of nerve ever. I still have never felt that nervous, but I was wobbling. I was like, oh my God. I was holding onto my purse. I had my purse. I remember I was just being like, oh my God, please don't.
Clutching that clutch. Well, she tells you you're safe.
And she threw me a lifeline. That's what she said. She said, I'm throwing you a lifeline. And I remember thinking like, I know I didn't do that. I mean, I don't think I did that even when I looked at it. But I was like, okay, I guess I'll take the lifeline, girl. So I ran as quick as I can to go stand with the other girls. I was like, honey, I'm definitely not about to be caught up in this lip sync situation. Bye. Willem at one point volunteered, I think, to be in the bottom because our group, so many people from our group were in the bottom. Willem had even at one point said like, I'm willing to be in the bottom. I'll take that spot. And Ru had basically said like, go join the other girls. Like, you know.
Like, no, you're all right, so you're safe.
Yes.
It's LaShawn and the princess, and they have to lip sync.
Yes.
They have to lip sync against each other, and LaShawn immediately takes her shoes off.
Yeah. Her feet hurt. Like at the end of the day, she knew she had to perform, and she wasn't gonna be up there performing, looking bad and howling around in heels. She knew that she could just take her shoes off and perform. She thought that would help, you know.
The lip sync is happening, or is anything going on in your brain, or are you just like relieved and you're done?
I was happy that once again I got to see another episode. There's another check.
Yes.
Because you do get like a little stipend per episode, and everything. Yes, so you get a little stipend paid per episode. So I remember thinking like, okay, I get another check. It was sad though because like Princess was like a Chicago girl. So I was already like, oh God, like.
We all close before?
Yeah, we were, because like she lived here and, you know, we would perform together. I always tell the infamous story. I told it one time on Hey Queen about how when I was hanging out with Princess and we were looking through fashion magazines and I had noticed this dress from Terry Mugler and I was like, oh my God, this is from the Janet Jackson video. And she was like, no. And we were going back and forth, like debating it like fashion nerds. Princess and I always loved watching fashion shows. That was kind of like our connection.
She's very easy to get along. She's super nice.
Yeah, she's funny. And I've always said she's a shady one too. You gotta watch out for her, honey.
Oh,
she can throw that shade, honey. Don't you think that Princess is some little doormat or something? Princess will step on you, honey.
Well, I thank you so much for having me on her. You know I love you. We work together all the time. You're one of my favorite all-time legends and icons, and the fact that we get to work together in Chicago frequently.
Yes.
Come see us.
My sister.
It makes me so happy.
So I want to thank you so much for being here too, Alexis. Thank you so much. I love you so much. And it wraps up episode 2 for Detailz with Dida Ritz. Make sure you guys tune in next week where I will be spilling more tea, telling more shade, doing all types of fun for episode 3 because like I said, this episode was the calm before the storm. Next week, oh baby girl. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.